Hey everybody, Mark Comfort here. My wife Mimi and I are owner of Cruise Holidays in Kansas City, and river cruises have become our favorite way of vacationing, and primarily in Europe, but all over the world. And we literally are one of the top producers with every river cruise line there is, but especially with AmaWaterways, and they have given us some tremendous summer and fall savings. And right now, I'm going to talk to you about a hosted group by Holly Juckett and Dave, her husband. They're going to be doing my favorite river of all the rivers in the world is the Danube River Cruise. And I love to do it from VILSHOFEN to Budapest. And if you can, Prague is a great pre-packaged city to go to. So anyway, let us go through this, and I want you to see this incredible river cruise, hosted river cruise. We've got a great value, fabulous value at such a perfect time of the year on one of their new ships, the AmaViola. This is AmaWaterways, our favorite river cruise line, October 26th through November 2nd. Now, believe it or not, that's in the part of the world where if everything goes right, you're going to get fall color changes. And when those Riesling wine stalks when they turn colors, they turn a fluorescent yellow. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. So we hope you'll get a color change. In addition to this, will be a wine themed cruise. And for me, it's one of the most incredible history and culture of all of Europe. You'll just love it. It's so fabulous. So I'm going to go through this right now. And if you're interested, at the end of the presentation, we'll have ways for you to get a hold of us. And with Holly and Dave, they're so much fun and they've got so many contacts. But here's the itinerary. You can start in Prague as a pre-package, or you can start in Munich as a pre-package. Holly and Dave did a Munich pre-package on one of their hosted river cruises before, so they know river cruising, they know this area. But I love Prague, so you can't go wrong, Munich or Prague. But the ship will start in Vilshofen, and as you see, it goes they call it from west to east, from Vilshofen all the way down to Budapest in Hungary. But it is such a beautiful itinerary. You'll get a lot of the cities, the bigger cities that you've heard before, like Prague, like Munich, like Budapest, of course, like Vienna. But you go to some places like Linz and Passau, to go to Salzburg and Bratislava, Dernstein, all these places. And I'm going to go through this. So it's such a fabulous mix. You'll know the big cities. You won't know the little cities or villages that will probably be your favorite stops. So let's go ahead and go through this right now. I love this itinerary. Vilshofen is just a really neat old city right by the river, right by the Danube River. And what Ama does different than anybody, year around, they have an Oktoberfest. Now we'll be in October when we're there. So they'll have an Oktoberfest in October for you and everybody on the ship right there at where the ship docks. It's a beautiful little city, and what a fabulous way to start this river cruise. Right literally across the river from Vilshofen, it's just a few miles downstream, is again a beautiful city called Passau. And I bet you've seen this city on a lot of brochures and a lot of pictures where two rivers come together. Actually, it's three rivers, believe it or not, but you see the pictures where the two rivers come together, and you see how the river cruises dock there. And again, this is a great picture to show you. When the river cruises dock, you're docking right in the heart of the city. And all the tours are included, and you'll have 6 to 8 different tours at every stop that are included, and you just pick from the tour that you want. And by the way, the tours are based around history, ancient and more modern. There's a lot of communistic history in this area too. Culture and scenery and wine. So you'll have a lot. And by the way, sometimes it's a combination of all of that. So Passau is a great city. Next slide. Linz, here is where you're going to have the most difficult decision because there's so many fabulous tours. Many of them are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, but Salzburg is a place that a lot of people go to from Linz. Český Krumlov, and we'll show you a picture of that in a minute, but Linz is a fabulous place. Here's Český Krumlov that you'll get to go to too. It's one of my favorite places in, we call this Eastern Europe, all of Eastern Europe. It's part of the Czech Republic actually, and it, believe it or not, it's like a little village lost in time. It's like stepping back seriously to a medieval city 400, 500, 600 years ago, and just love Český Krumlov. And again, this will be a city that a tour that you'll get to take if you'd like. Again, the other option out of Linz is Salzburg, and that's the Sound of Music, and beautiful area. I've done this 2-3 times. You can't go wrong with any decision. Another decision you'll have a chance to go to, maybe if you've been to Salzburg or if you've been to Český Krumlov, is the Austrian Lake Districts. Oh my gosh, the Lake District is absolutely beautiful. Next slide. Okay, again, like I said, you will be, this is a wine themed cruise. You will be in wine territory. You'll see vineyards like this, little villages like this, the vineyards that are in the foothills of the mountains all around. The scenery is just breathtaking. And again, if you're going to get fall color changes this time of the year, and just imagine that as the colors are changing. It's just so beautiful. And again, like this little place, a lot of these places that you've not heard of, you'll love. Now you have heard of Vienna, and Vienna is charming. This happens to be the Schönbrunn Palace. I was just on an AmaWaterways cruise in Paris, out of Paris up to Normandy for the 80th anniversary D-Day, and we went to the Palace of Versailles. Well, this was the palace that was built by the Habsburg Empire, 1,440 rooms, just a small little palace, 1,440 rooms, that was copied after the Palace of Versailles in France. In Vienna, of course, there's Old Town Vienna. There's the Vienna Boys Choir, if you get lucky enough, but the Lipizzaner Stallions. One of the things that people do there, I've done this, is you can go to the practice sessions anytime, even if there's not shows. So there's so much to do. Oh my gosh, so much to do. Okay, next slide. Oh gosh, look at this. Again, this is the kind of views, especially in the evening, that you will get from the river that you cannot get anywhere else. Ocean cruises, they tell, we've done ocean cruises for 35 years as the owners of Cruise Holidays of Kansas City. And ocean cruises take you to the big ports, but the river cruises take you through the countries and take you to the places like this that my guess is most of you have not been to. And Bratislava is a great stop on this trip. It's just a beautiful little place right outside of Vienna and Budapest. Isn't that a gorgeous picture? Oh my gosh. And then we end up with, I think, maybe arguably the most beautiful place you will ever see from the river, and that's the Parliament building in Budapest. Budapest, like Prague, is on my top 5 cities I've been to anywhere in the world, and I know it will be for you too. There's just so much history there. Matter of fact, Buda and Pest are on, 2 cities that are on different sides of the river. There's all the communist history in Budapest there, and then there's the new more modern capitalistic history in Budapest. And again, this is in the country of Hungary. Just a great stop. You will love that. So all of these, the whole itinerary, 7 nights, 8 days, will be on a newer ship called the AmaViola. And again, if you've not been on a river cruise ship, they're very, very small, and they're only 3 stories tall. They can only be as large as the smallest lock. So this is one of Ama's newer ships. It's just a beautiful, beautiful ship. 164 people maximum on that. And we'll have about 25%, 30% of the whole ship. And it's so much fun. If the weather's good while you're cruising, you go up on the top deck. That's called the sun deck. If not, or during the evening. They have a lounge there, as you see on the bottom left-hand corner. 2 restaurants on the ship. We'll talk about that. And there's several different room categories. As you see in the picture of the rooms there, they have several options, and the price points are based on the kind of rooms, the category of rooms, and where they are on the ship that will determine the price. And we can go over all of that for you. This is the chef's table. Isn't it just beautiful? And you'll have a 7-course meal that is just absolutely gorgeous. That's one of our favorite evenings on the chef's table. And I will make sure the group gets together for at least one evening on the at the chef's table. Now, this is the lounge area. As you see, it's very colorful, very cheerful, and it's such an easy way, intimate way for people to meet each other. You know, you're going to meet some well-traveled, fun people, both in your group. You're going to make friends of people maybe you've never met in Holly and Dave's group, and then you're going to meet other people on the ship. It's so easy to meet people, so much fun. And Ama does something that I want you, before I talk about the room categories, I want to share with you. Every night around 6 o'clock, Ama has what's called a sip and sail get together, where you have a chance to talk about what you did during the day for the first half hour. So in the second half hour, the cruise manager, which will be the most important, Dave and Holly are important, but the cruise manager will be your most important contact on that ship. And he or she will go over all of the shore excursions for the next day. And by the way, if you've chosen a shore excursion and want to change it, easy to do. If you've not chosen a shore excursion, you can sign up right after this meeting or even the next morning before you go out on the shore excursions. And all these shore excursions are very small groups. They divide the 150, 164 people up into small groups of about 20. Okay, the room categories right here, they have room categories that can be made for with 2 beds or the king size bed. They have room categories that have the double balcony. It's called both an outside balcony and a French balcony. They have rooms with just the French balconies. And then they have rooms that are on the lowest deck with wall-to-wall windows up on top of the room. And our staff can go over all those category options. Beautiful picture, isn't it? Yeah, there's a great picture of the double category, the double room category with the 2 balconies. On the left there, right by the bed, that's the outdoor balcony. So you can go out and have a cup of coffee or breakfast in the morning out there, or a glass of wine or a nightcap on your balcony. And then as you see on the right side, that's the French balcony, and they open up so you can see all this beautiful scenery as you go by. It does have a pool in it and a wellness center, but this is the pool. It's kind of a half between a pool and a big hot tub, but they have bar service up there. This is up on the top deck called the sun deck too, and it's always a fun place to go and meet people. Oh, here's a good example of the guided shore excursions that you go on. And you can't really tell in this that well, but again, they're very small group tours, 20 people maximum, and sometimes there's even lesser numbers. For example, they also have what's called gentle walkers or slower walkers. So I had a hip replacement a few years back, and I went on a AmaWaterways river cruise, and I was in the gentle walkers. And all that means is you can walk a little slower. So if you slow down a little bit, the gentle walkers will be perfect for you. And they have the audio boxes that fit over your head with the ear set, so you can hear the guide as he or she is talking, no matter where you are. You don't have to be close to the guide, is what I'm saying, to hear them perfectly. AmaWaterways is really fabulous about wellness, and they've got all these wellness things like yoga, stretching, walking. They do, gosh, they do cornhole and even pickleball on some of their ships. But they have something going on all the time in the wellness category, and there is a fitness center on board the ship too, as well as a spa. Okay, So let's talk about food. Almost everybody's favorite part of a cruise experience. And river cruises, just like ocean cruises, oh my gosh, the food quality and the food options, and the food is included in your cost, as are the tours. Um, and the wine and beer for dinner and for drinks are included. Um, Wine and beer for dinner and lunch, excuse me, are included. This is all the lamb. I just had the lamb on our last cruise. It was so good. The lamb chops were so good. And the food options are great. And whether you're wanting to try local foods, because Ama's really, really good. Ama has the most awards for their culinary, their food, their service. Gosh, they're better than anybody else. That's one reason why we like Ama so well. Food and service make the trip, don't they? And the options will be local options as well as Western options. If you're meat and potatoes guy like me, or salmon or chicken, you can always get that. This is the chef's table again, the chef cooking up here. We're going to get you all together as a group in the chef's table. And that is a 7-course. It's small servings, tapas style, fabulous, paired with wine for the whole night. I got to tell you, this will be one of the highlights of your dining experience on the Ama Viola. Okay, this is a good example of the price points. The prices start for the whole week's cruise from $3,725 per person. By the way, all of these prices are somewhere between $300 and $800 a person lower than the going rate, because we did what's called a partial charter. Mimi and I bought for Dave and Holly on this group, we bought a certain number of cabins. We bought actually 20 cabins for 40 people on this. And here's your options. The upper wall window, that's on the lower deck. Then the next category up, the French balcony, which is floor to ceiling and wall to wall, but just a balcony that opens up, and no outdoor balcony, but you can get the fresh air that way. Then the 2 balconies in the rooms, like I showed you, start at $4,800. And then depending on where they are, they go up to $5,228. That would be up on the top deck. River cruises are a lot like ocean cruise ships. The higher up you go on the ship, the more expensive. And then they do have suites. So if you want suites, and they've only got 4 of them. So if you want a suite, you better deposit on that pretty quickly. With a deposit, we can actually hold the exact cabin for you. Now, the payments are per person, and they're based on double occupancy. You can write us a check or give us a credit card, whichever. I would encourage you to take out travel insurance immediately upon deposit, because your payments are non-refundable. The deposit is just $300, by the way, and that allows us to hold that exact stateroom for you. And then your final payment, as you see, is due August 21st. Okay. We do have a 10 stateroom minimum, so I'm sure that will be done very, very quickly. I'll be doing, and I want you to stay tuned, I'll be doing some in-person seminars with Holly, Dave, and myself. We'll do 2 or 3 of these as time goes on. In fact, we'll be, I think August 14th will be one of our seminars coming up, and that'll be at our Cruise Holidays building. But if you want to talk to any of us at any time, you can do that. What's included is the cruise fare, the gratuities for all of the crew, and your port fees. So they're outside of your air and the transfers and travel insurance. Everything else is paid for in that, meaning your room, of course, the food, beer and wine at lunch and dinner, and all of your tours, whichever tours you pick, and the port fees. So that's, oh, and the tips are included to all of the crew. That's a big, big deal. Okay, and again, we can talk to you about the pre-packages, or if you want to do something in Budapest or around that area afterwards, we can help customize whatever it is that you would like. So this is our phone number, 816-505. Ask for Holly and Dave's Danube River group, okay, when you call us, and they'll direct you. If you have a vacation advisor from our staff already, they will, the receptionist will send you them. If not, we'll send you to Lynette, Ashley, or Stacy, or myself in the group department, and we will get you set up on this. So for $300 deposit, you can get your cabin picked. We'll talk to you about travel insurance too. We'll talk to you about pre and post packages. If you've got your own airfare, mating points or miles, you can most certainly use that. And we'll give you all the details as to when you should get to where and when you should come home. Okay, and we'll get your transfer set up for you. Hey, I want to thank you so much. I got to tell you, if you've never river cruised, you will love it. I promise you, you'll love it. There's a 97% satisfaction rating for river cruises. That's why it's become my favorite vacation and my wife's favorite vacation. AmaWaterways has the highest satisfaction ratings of any river cruise line, which is why we like to use them for our groups. And Holly and Dave are so much fun. This group that will go with them is going to have so much fun, and you'll get to go to a lot of wineries all over. Believe me, you'll have your share of wine on this trip, and you'll get to go to a lot of wineries. And the culture, the history, the scenery is just breathtaking. If you've been on the Danube River, gosh, you can go again. You know how great this Danube River is, and just do different shore excursions everywhere you go. The excursions are included. I've been on the Danube 3 times, and every time I go, I will do something different in every port, just so I know the different excursions there are to offer. Well, I got to tell you, perfect time of the year, perfect river cruise ship, and perfect river. You are going to have the time of your life. I promise you. Memories that will last a lifetime will be accomplished on this cruise. So thank you, everybody, and give us a call. You can check our website out, which is cruiseholidays.kc.com, or best thing to do, I don't know, I'm old school. I like to call and I like to talk to people, and if you don't know about the river cruise experience or this whole thing, we can walk you through everything you'll need to know so your expectations are correct, and everything you'll need to have done, we'll help do that for you. You'll love our staff and you'll trust our staff. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you listening today. Give us a call at 816-505-1500. We want to help you find a vacation like this with Holly and Dave on the Danube River on the Ama Viola. It's a great experience.